you ready?
Hello, welcome to the Weeb Club. I know what you're thinking. What bit is Craftsdwarf going to spend? Unfunny bit is Craftsdwarf going to spend way too much time on this time? You'll find out. Hello, everybody. Hi, guys. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good. I'm chilling.
I'm okay enough, I guess.
Cool.
Let's go.
Comments.
Let's go. Okay, let's see.
I'm just going to mention the Guitar Skater comment, not because of this comment specifically, but because I forgot to comment on his previous comment, so now this is an excuse to do so. I just think it's cool that Guitar Skater's back because the Weeb Club's back. Because they haven't been commenting on the older new episodes before the return, but now they're commenting.
I like seeing Guitar Skater comment. I agree.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I respect the DMC2 bashing.
Yeah, there's a lot of DMC2 bashing, which I see.
Like Gabriel White Dunn is like, Infected Tank and Chopper best bosses, woo! And I'm just remembering back to my I forget if I mentioned last time, but like how to kill the Infected Tank. Stand by it. Mash triangle until it dies. For God.
Yeah, well, the funny thing, actually, I'll go back to Guitar Skater's comment really quickly. Sorry to make this editing annoying, but I'm reading it now, and I think it's funny because he even just kind of shows why his opinion isn't to be taken seriously on this comment, because he's like, I like 2 over 3 because it was easier, but 5 is closer to 3 than it is to 2. Like, 2 is easier because you can just shoot, and, like, the game beats itself, but, like, 5 plays closer to 3. The biggest difference is when you're Dante, you have like style switching, but like you play a lot of 5, and I think like most people who like 5 the most, or not like who like 5 the most, but like, you know, Nero is also a large part of 5 and is a lot easier to play than Dante is when style switching is a thing. So like, you know, it makes sense, I guess, but it's just funny that like he even just admits it. And it's like, well, you know, it's just because it's easier, which like fair enough. I guess I can't say anything about that. Like, you do you at that point.
Yeah.
I guess I like the Ramsey Hassan comment, I guess. I like seeing these Code Geass people come out of the woodworks, because I didn't think it would be like, I mean, I guess it makes sense that'd be some like Weeb Club fans who like Code Geass, but I kind of wasn't really thinking about it when I was talking about it.
Geass.
Yeah, a lot of gay assers around. Yeah, I like this comment of like him mentioning it's like Legend of Galactic Heroes, Cross of the Slice of Life. I like the other one where a guy was saying it was like Gundam, but more exaggerated and having more of the school shit. That one from the previous episode mentioning Gundam made me more interested in Gundam than I was before, just because like I did like the absurdity of things in Code Geass. So it's like, now that I'm thinking about Code Geass in comparison to some things I've seen of Gundam, I'm interested in Gundam a little bit, because I never really thought of it that much in like the sillier way. But I've definitely seen a lot of Gundam clips of just like silly characters and like crazy scenarios, but in a good way. Good comments.
So someone asked me to timestamp the videos. That's fair. Most of the reason I don't is because I just fixate on just getting the editing done in a reasonable time frame. Mostly, I
just say no.
I just think their username is funny. Yuzu's big breast, singular. Not the other one, just one of them. I don't know. I don't even know who Yuzu is. Their fucking avatar is like a fucking edit of Char from fucking Zeta. I think. I don't know. Maybe it isn't. It's small. I can't tell. But I don't have more comments.
Honestly, with the timestamps, some of those, and especially initially, it was from me watching the episodes after they after they were uploaded, and then me timestamping it. But like, I've been kind of lazy to do that. So like, I still do watch the episodes at 2x usually, but I don't feel like timestamping. So maybe I will. I don't know.
I clip it and ship it. I do not listen to these episodes back.
I mean, I guess my thing, none like, because if you're already gonna watch the episodes, then something like that helps, is great. But at the same time, I don't really, mind if you don't do it. So, yeah. So we did have one thing on the
apologize.
Reddit, or are we done with comments?
Yeah, I'm done with the comments.
So yeah, the only thing we have on the Reddit is Master Spoon updated the backlog, like what we talk about on each episode, and there's colors now, so it looks nicer. So yeah, it's cool. I like having it. I like looking through the stuff that we all talked about. So, all right.
Agree.
Okay, topic time. We asked for 3x3s.
I looked at some of these. Some of y'all need help. I was trying to decide if I wanted to be hateful or spiteful in this episode, and I think I'm gonna land somewhere in the middle. But I'm not bringing good energy, a kind energy to this episode. I'm telling you what.
Yeah. See, the thing is like I don't care as much about this stuff anymore, so it's harder for me to be a little toxic about it. But like, in their heart of hearts, I know that's what the people want. Even if they don't say that's what they want, they definitely want people to be roasted for their 3x3s.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, and first of all, let's talk about Spoon. Spoon behavior, stealing 3 images that I use in mine.
You guys are the same person, though.
Maybe 4, because I've used that One Piece image as well before. So, like, that's really fucking toxic, I think. First of all, just to clarify, just taking the exact images I used for Kaiji and Rookies. Hello?
I mean, it makes
sense.
Scout.
Do you know how hard it was for me? No. Really quickly, I'm going off on this. Do you know how hard it was for me to find those fucking images for Kaiji and Rookie? Like, part 5, I guess, there were a lot of other people who had images, but I wanted to use a different one. But you know how hard it was for me to find an image to use for Rookies? That is not a super popular manga, all right? When I added it, I didn't know anyone else who put that on their shit. I had to, like, look for an image that, like, worked in, like, the little square, all right? Do not just reap the fucking... do not just reap the rewards of my labor. Go find your own, do your own. Don't just steal my pictures. Come on. I know, I'm going to know when I see it. He just stole mine. That's hateful. He didn't have that there before he saw mine.
He also took your little catchphrase that you used to put in your bio and still has it on his thing.
The plagiarism. I can't believe it. I'm fucking I'm upset. I'm not okay.
Yeah, I was just going to say, okay. I just noticed, I mean, it makes sense that Weeb Club fans would also like some of the things we like, but I've never fucking seen Karakuri Circus on a 3x3 or 4x4, except for one I made as, like, this is what I liked in high school, so I don't know, just thought it was cool to see. I mean, they are good image choices, image goes but, hard. Like, I have seen several of them other, like you said, but...
it's definitely partially Vindy's and Crafts, and then... Maybe there's like 1 or 2 that's like kind of his own images.
The only one that I've used is the Kurosawa one, the Legend of Strongest Man with the hands at the bottom. But even then, he is still like he got it on his own. It's zoomed out. I zoomed mine and I didn't have the text bubble on there, so that one was still different. But
I do like the MHA picture.
That is a fucking banger MHA picture, and not one I would use.
And I also don't
that's a pretty
of,
unique image.
I feel like the Hunter x Hunter one, I haven't seen that one, even though Hunter x Hunter is very common on 4x4s.
Good Hunter x Hunter, I agree.
But it is a good image.
It's almost like almost like when he picks his own image, it goes hard. When he just recycles from someone else, it's disgusting.
Unfortunate.
It's a very Spoon 4x4 for the type of man this guy is.
All right, who's next?
What's next?
It's just Dots, but sent by Luna, because Dots doesn't want us to find his Twitter account for Kumi.
Okay, wait. So, what is bottom middle and bottom right?
Bottom
right is Gamba-kun. I'm pretty sure it's like this. I don't know, this old ass thing that Dot literally watched this year about like a little rat boy.
Far right Cromarty?
No, that is not Cromarty High. I do not recognize it. Cromarty looks more. No, Cromarty is more like serious looking, even though it's a comedy. But if you look at it, like that's kind of the joke, where that one looks like more cartoonish, if that makes sense. None just said the bottom right. I'm pretty sure the middle bottom is Odd Taxi, because I remember Dot saying he liked it when What and I did the seasonal discussion for that season, the post discussion. And then
Yeah.
I recognize obviously everything. Like everything.
Yeah.
It's like the bottom right.
Great
or
picture
the
choices.
Oh yeah, no, the One Piece one comes for like
One Piece one goes hard.
Yeah, because god, 10:15 is fucking good. If there's a better
10:15 is
episode,
crazy.
if there's a better episode of One Piece, I would be fucking stunned. Or it just hasn't happened yet, because I was even thinking if they give that fucking lady.
I mean, they haven't done.
director-
Did you
5
see?
yet.
That's
Did
what
you
I was
see
gonna say.
the Warner
If
Bros
they give-
thing?
Or which one? What?
I don't know how true this is. Because I saw it on fucking TikTok, but I saw a TikTok that said Toei was partnering with Warner Bros for an episode coming up soon.
Oh my god! Oh
I
my
wonder.
God!
Episode coming up
Let's
soon.
fucking
Craftsdwarf.
go! Oh,
I don't know if
just-
that's true. Remember, I saw it on TikTok, but you know what? Let me do some digging.
I literally-
God, if you're
literally
just
got-
getting Crafts'
oh my
hopes up over here,
Dude,
that'd
I
be
hope I am.
fucking
I hope I
insane.
am.
Look, I was even just thinking, because I actually read. I haven't finished rereading Luffy versus Kaido, but like I got to the thing, and it's so fucking funny, and it's so fucking good. And I was even thinking like the anime would be really cool if they used like, because there's the drum beat, the heartbeat to drum noises. Like they could do some cool shit with that. Maybe like the way I envision it in the anime could be. It could be fucking good, especially if they give it to.
They
fucking
could go off.
Megami
They could go
and just-
off.
oh my god. But yeah, these are overall pretty good pick choices. So solid 3x3. And I mean, especially like because it's coming from Dot, who also made probably like the best joke 3x3 last time, where it was fucking horrible, but there was
My
layers
goat.
to the horribleness. So I like it. Character development.
Character development copium. I'm sorry, but this
I
one's
hate
just not
some of
good.
those. I hate some of those pictures. Those are tough. Some of those pictures are fucking great, actually. I think, and some of them I really don't like.
I just think this one doesn't make the text work good because it's like not a consistent way of going about it. Like I don't think text in 3x3s is like inherently bad, but it's like a good amount textless, and then some with text, and then some with like a lot of text, like multiple panels in the thing is like.
I think
Brother.
for me at least, I think the text, the one in the bottom is fine because there just isn't a lot of text.
Yeah, the Idolmaster manga is good.
The one for the Black Clover I think is fine because again it's just two text bubbles, where the one in the middle they're so small I can't really read them even with it blown up a bit. Like I have to zoom in to read the one in the middle, and the one on top just has a bit too much text, I think.
And the one on the right has way too much white space that just like is nothing. Like why is like the image of the manga like a quarter of the square? Like just zoom it in on her face. I'm sorry, nobody can read the words anyways.
And then the pics without text are I think are relatively good pics.
I really like whatever manga middle left is. That pic goes crazy. Actually, that pic goes hard.
No, yeah, that's probably my favorite pick. I mean, that said, because I don't actually recognize. I mean, I recognize Anohana and
Your favorite.
Master.
I see Idolmaster.
Even though
I see
I haven't
Yuri,
read
Yuri.
them, but I recognize, and Yuri, of course, I recognize those two, even though I haven't read them. I recognize Black
Nagatoro.
Clover. Oh, I recognize that one, of course. I just don't recognize upper right and middle or right or left. But the pick on the left I can say is good, and I think the upper right pick is I'm pretty sure it's
fine.
Good. I just
a little
don't
edgy,
know
but...
what. Well, I mean, it's probably edgy. It might be fucking Magical Girl site. I don't.
Oh,
know what
wait.
it is.
Actually, no. I don't know why, but the middle, it makes me think it might be a Persona manga. I don't know why, but kind of the character there looks like.
I heard Idol Rise.
Maybe?
I don't know what the.
Like, yeah, it kind of looks like Rise.
Uh,
Maybe.
I'm just
Could-
reading
if
that I
it-
want to be like the.
There's only
lovely
one
Idol
spot
Rise,
that could
but
be in
I don't know.
P4G, and I don't think it is because it would have to. Yeah, I don't think it could be.
Okay.
It could be, I guess.
Nagatore's
But,
a very good manga, so good pick.
I mean, Toku is disgusting.
Yeah, this is a
Except
three
for
by
the
three
Godzilla
made
movie,
by a man
whatever
pushing
mid left
40.
goes crazy. Look at that little guy.
That's a Gamera, probably the third Gamera movie from the '90s trilogy.
I feel like as soon as you become old, that's when you really get in this like Toku mecha.
You're both cringe
stuff.
losers. I don't actually know how old Ombre is, so.
No, I found out recently he's almost as old as you, or
The
he's
guy
like
in the top
he's like
middle,
about in your age range. I
the
forgot.
guy
how
in the
old he
top
is.
middle looks from that series. I've seen him in other things. He looks cool. I'll give you that.
I think the pick choices are good. I can't really say because I haven't watched several of these things. Like, I mean, I think I'm pretty sure the middle is Shin Ultraman because I think I used that picture for my Twitter thread. So I like that pick. Yeah, I think it looks good.
Yeah, I mean, the only picture I would maybe say like in terms of like in comparison to these other shots, kind of looks weird is the one in the bottom middle,
Precure
just because
5,
like the perspective is zoomed back way more than the other one.
This guy
But,
at Craftsdwarf's
it's fine.
taste, if they were a Venn diagram, it'd be a goddamn circle. Jesus.
That's not true.
Yeah,
He likes
it's
Gundam,
just
and I don't. So
old people stuff.
okay, I've only seen 2 Gundams, and he's seen like fucking 8.
I'm not talking about Luna's. Seek God.
So I'm pretty sure I want to say something about this real quick because I did a fucking doujin and hentai manga 3x3, and it was very kind of in the same style where it's like showing what it is without showing what it is. And I mostly remember it in the context of Luna because there was one specific one he really wanted to know what it was. And I this is focused more on text. Like I had some not non-text ones, but it's definitely, I don't know. I recognize it because I don't recognize any of the text, but I'm just saying, I know where it comes from. I think because I did something similar.
Look for God. I hope you find him. Okay. Here's one thing I will say that like always goes crazy hard for people who do it. People who read comics get the best fucking pictures for their shit. Oh my fucking God. Some of these comic pictures are so good. I love the 2 Superman ones in middle left are actually all 3, like all the Superman ones are so fucking good. Right?
I like the
love
Superman one with the shield.
the shield one's really good. Him flying over like the planet is good. Both ones of I assume him in the field with his dad are good. The bottom right Spider-Man one goes crazy. Like, goddamn, comics art is so fucking good. I love it.
Yeah, those are some really good choices. Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, are we talking about both of offlines?
I was gonna say one per person.
We pick one.
So,
I guess manga? Question mark.
Yeah, do manga. I don't know if I should allow. I feel like if I, I gave Spoon shit for it. Here's the thing I'll say. You have to use that Joe image. I'm not going to give anyone shit for using that Joe image, right?
Yeah, well, I didn't use it, but I understand it because it's literally the most iconic imagery from the series to the point that it's iconic within anime even for people who don't know about it because of, like Danganronpa and Gurren Lagann and how they use it. So
it's goated. Yeah, I won't give anyone shit for using it. I don't like that as a Medaka box image. I think I've told people before. I think, like, yes, I know it's Medaka box. I think it kind of looks horrendous.
I'm not that big into it. Or at the very least, it could work if it were in the center.
I think if you're going to go for a busy panel, go for one of the funny busy panels. Like the one where it's the plant, like the rotting girl saying all that shit to...
about her
whoever,
fantasy of their
or like one of the
romance.
panels where like it lists all the Shonen Jump protagonists. Like go for one of the ones where it's like there's like 2,000 powers that fucking whatever her one name is like using. You know what I mean? Like go for one of the crazy busy panels that's like goofy. Not this one that's like a purposeful busy panel, but like it. I feel like the purpose of it's lost and like it doesn't have a lot of impact in this. The same way that like almost every other picture in here, right? Like has a lot of impact to it. You know what I mean? Like especially like the Plunderer and the JoJo's and the Luffy. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel like within our circle, this Hunter x Hunter picture is kind of boring now. Like I feel like you shouldn't really keep picking this.
Yeah, I mean, I understand like common pick choices because they're common for a reason. They're often pretty good.
Yeah,
but,
it's a really good picture, and like I know
hard,
outside of our circle, it's not like as common since it's from Greed Island. But it's just I see it so much now that's like it's not. I feel like you could find more impactful moments in Hunter x Hunter that mean a lot to you other than this one. Even if just Forgone and Killwa's friendship, there's plenty of other ones to pick. I don't know.
Fuck you. I like that picture.
Okay. I mean, at least you were like one of the first people that I know of that was using it. So, I mean, if you want to keep using it, it's your right to do so. But some of these other people... Naruto one I can respect. Not my favorite choice or anything, but I definitely respect using something later on like this.
Anything that's Naruto Sasuke duality, I'm gonna like. So
I agree.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
a pretty good picture.
If you can find a way to fit Naruto and Sasuke in your picture, because like that's something that's really interesting. I think about Naruto pictures it's like actually surprisingly hard to get one that has both Naruto and Sasuke in it. So I think anytime someone can manage to fit both of them and like it look good, it is an A+ for me. I'm gonna like, you know what I mean? Consider stealing it every time.
Mm-hmm.
God, I want to read.
That's the only other thing I would say
gentlemen.
is the Plunderer picture with like this very like harsh gray, in contrast to these other ones, looks a little weird. But
I think the
like
picture has a
nitpicking,
lot
I
of
feel
like oomph to it, and it works though.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, the biggest problem here is just using fan art is a big fucking massive Omega Giga L.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I've become more against fan art, like even more than before as time passes.
And like, I don't like using also key art. Like you have like what looks like a poster for Monster on the right, what looks like a volume cover for Vinland in top right. But like I feel like your art.
I feel like volume covers can be fine in certain contexts.
I don't think,
but you have to be consistent across everything. I think. Because
I'm pretty sure I feel like bottom right isn't like it's like okay, so I'm pretty sure that's Infinite Revias. I think
it looks like a picture you would get from Mal.
Like I thought it was Ghost in the Shell, honestly, but I haven't seen Standalone Complex, but that's what I thought it was.
Well, because I'm pretty sure it's Ares Blue from Infinite Revias.
You're probably right. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, 100% is. That's the first thing that comes up when I search him on Mal. So it just, it doesn't quite look like he does in the show, so that's why I wasn't 100% sure. But yeah, it's Infinite Rise, which I know because that's like one of the shows I have just outside of my 10 out of 10s. So, but bottom middle, I don't know what that one is. Or
that's,
if it's like Alita?
I don't know. Is it? It's probably like something like that, or like fucking I don't know, like Technolize, some shit like that.
I can't tell.
One of those kinds of series that like nobody watches because.
But yeah, I guess like, I mean, I think in some cases like you kind of have to use fan art, like if you're doing like say a book or something where it's like, well, okay, there's
just use the cover, just suck it up.
all right.
I will be that guy.
But yeah, I mean, I
or
think,
find official art.
You know, ignoring the fan art thing, like I think they are good pick choices. But it's just I don't know, fan art is, I mean. Because you're kind of using someone else's work.
A fan art thing, I don't think the pictures
also
look great together.
Yeah, also I think like arguing using fan art for something that doesn't have visuals is very different from using fan art for media that.
No, these are all media that have visuals. Yeah.
For visual media where it's like you have no like that's not an excuse that exists, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So but I don't know.
I forget what I was saying. Oh well. Oh no, yeah, I guess like they're still like crediting fan artists is more important than crediting actual like oh gee, I wonder who drew Vinland Saga. Like everyone fucking knows that, but I don't know who drew that Legend of Galactic Heroes fan art, for example. So there's I don't know, seems a little I don't know.
Oh, I didn't even know that was Legends of Galactic
Heroes.
I
was able to figure that out. Also, I don't like the Berserk picture. Actually, I'll say that as well. I think it makes Berserk look too edgy. And like, yeah, I get Berserk is like really edgy, but like, I think the thing that makes Berserk like great, at least to me, at the end of the day, is like how positive and uplifting it is at the end of the day. And I feel like if you just like grab an edgy Berserk picture, it's like, I mean, I guess if that's like, I think that's all I'll say about it. But that's just personally. Alrighty, characters. Some interesting choices, I think. Especially when all together. Some interesting choices, I think. I think there's one character on here, two characters on here I don't know.
Which ones would those be?
Middle and bottom right.
So bottom right, I assume is one, just knowing Murasaki, it's probably from one of the the older, the Suda 51, kind of like the adventure.
Is that Albert Wesker?
No, I'm pretty sure. No, that's not. What does that have to do with Suda 51?
Nothing, but it looks like it could be like a Wesker art that just doesn't look too much like Wesker, but could be Wesker.
I was thinking like, what is it, Flower, Sun, and Rain or something like that? Or
yeah, but I would respect having Wesker there. That would go so fucking dummy hard, all right?
But yeah, I have no. That's just I've not played those, so I really have no idea. The middle one is Toho. It's one of the its characters from. I don't remember the character, but I know some bits about it just from.
I assumed it was Toho, but I didn't know which.
Yeah. I recognize
I
everyone
think
but the bottom right though. So, and I can't name the Toa character, but
yeah,
but I recognize
the
her at least.
Bart is a little wild. I think that's not something I would have expected. I mean, Gintoki makes sense.
Well, I forget who else had one, but someone else also had Bart on their character 3x3 that I saw within the last few months. So I don't know who's watching Simpsons or who was talking about Simpsons, but I don't know. It was interesting that I saw this character twice from a primarily anime crowd. So though I know Muro, I know that he's like the Simpsons. Like I remember that, but
Also, I just think that like the combination of Bart, Gintoki, Travis Touchdown, Kaiji goes crazy. Like that is such a chaotic combo right there. I love it. You know what I mean? I want to play a poker game with that group.
Unfortunately, can't happen because Bart is too young to gamble.
No, he'll find a way.
He would do it anyway if he wanted
true.
to. I like the character choices. I think the white backgrounds for 3 of the characters are a little weird. I do like the Gintoki picture.
Knowing
but it's just
where
like,
a lot of those images came from, or at least where 2 of those of them came from, there's no other option if you wanted to use those. And it's such a good Travis Touchdown and Gintoki pose that I think it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it just draws my eyes too much to them, to the point where it's like a little distracting.
Yeah,
I
and
guess.
I can't think
But,
because I know that the
fine,
character
I
in the
guess.
middle is Muro's favorite character, which is why that character is there in the middle. And I can't think of a way to because like I talked about with my fight 4x4 or is arranging the black and white and the color pictures in a way that tries to be balanced, and you can't really do that unless one of them's in the center if there's 3. So there's really no helping it. I mean, maybe you could swap Kaiji or Hana, the Precure character at the top, with the one in the bottom right.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing it can really do to balance it out, I think. But also just the way that the character in the bottom right is oriented, I don't know, it kind of fits the bottom right just because of the direction he's looking and where the negative space is. So
yeah,
it'd be
I agree.
if, so it's it's hard to manage. So I understand the orientation.
Yeah, it's still unique character choices.
Also, if you look, a lot of
definitely not
times he has
something you'd see
characters
too much.
looking off outside of the 3x3. Characters that are on the bottom are looking down. Characters are looking out the side.
Almost all.
I just noticed that. That's a really sick detail with it. I don't know if it's intentional, but it kind of goes crazy. Bart's looking to the upper right. The girl top left is looking up left.
That is
Precure lady's
right.
looking
I
up.
didn't notice that. Cool.
Oh my goodness, there's a lot here.
There's a lot.
Some psychotic
Twitter's
stuff here.
compressing it too, I think.
Yeah, because I don't know if I would ever in any year that I experienced any amount of media say Billy Bat was on there. You know what I mean? I think Hitler creating Mickey Mouse to commit 9/11 is a little much for me, but you do what you want, dog.
Oh God. I mean, right now the thing that's fucking me up is the borders. It's kind of or if you notice, there's a pattern on it, and it's kind of making it and that plus some of the images, there's some there's the one next to Billy Bat to the right where it's there's a line on the. Oh no, that's the bit. Is that the image underneath it poking out? It's just a little literally rough around the edges of some of the image choices. So
I feel like. Oh, sorry.
No, I keep seeing more of the gray borders, so I don't know what the fuck's going on there. Just looks a little off. So,
this is a personal thing, but I feel over time I become less of a fan of when 3x3s go beyond a 5x5 or so, just because it's it loses a little bit of meaning seeing all this stuff together because I can't really ascertain much.
Yeah, there's
the
36
when
things
there's so
on
many
here. How am I
things.
supposed to?
And this is just from 2022. It'd be different if they've amassed this much favorites over the course of their media consumption. That's reasonable. But for 2022, I feel you could have narrowed it down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think I had 36 favorites from last year, and I literally watched fucking literally hundreds of episodes of anime, including rewatching a bunch of my favorite stuff, and I still including rewatches, I didn't have that many.
I struggled to make a 3x3 out of mine from last year. Which I realized I could have brought up last time, but I guess I could bring it up this time if we just talk about 3x3s you've made recently at the end to let people make fun of us.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up because I'm gonna actually I literally
have to
just
find it.
updated my manga one, so I can even show that off. But I just need to pull up Photoshop and anyway. But yeah, no.
I want to update mine because they look like shit. But I'm waiting for Pokemon thing to be finished so I can put the most accurate Pokemon game that I like the most. But I can't do that right now.
Yeah, I have a lot of franchises to finish it before I can feel comfortable. My hope for the year is to finish my manga reread. So my manga one should be accurate by the end of the year. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying like it's wrong to have so many things that you liked. It's just like, damn, you either consumed a shitload of media or you just like.
No, Foe did though. Foe's was like
go.
in the 200s or like 300s or some shit.
Okay,
it was like a lot of shit.
Gotcha.
Like I understand why theirs is so big, but it's just like for me, it's a little overwhelming to look at, and like my brain turns off, so I can't really like super tie this to like Foe as an individual as much as like, oh, he likes like cool looking stuff, you know. I'm sure some of this is really good, you know.
Well, I the stuff I recognize, I tend to, you know, I can't see. I mean, Billy Bat, I haven't touched since it ended. I need to reread it, but a lot of stuff I recognize, I think is good. So,
yeah, like I'm sure if you just pick like a random thing off of here, it's probably pretty good. Like I don't see anything on here that's like questionable or like, you know, something that I wouldn't be into probably.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Man.
Oh. Ooh, that just came without me. Like, that was just visceral upon seeing the layout. I'm so sorry. But I'm not. This is horrible.
I see.
It's not the worst.
I think as far as like you know, doing a different layout, I think I definitely, you know, I'd rather see someone put a bit more effort into it than just using, you know, a basic 3x3 one, even though I think the 3x3 is solid for a reason. But like, I mean, I think honestly my issue with this is that like it's a little just imbalanced in that the top is like just those top three, especially One Piece and Haikyuu, those two images are so much busier than anything else on the spread, basically. Like that's really
I don't
the
like
only
the
part
colors.
That kinda,
I think the part of the problem comes when you use colored images like this is that like, especially when you have series where official colorations are done like very differently, I think they all contrast a lot more than just using like black and white images for example would, where if you find like good striking images from throughout the manga, they all kind of like have some level of like visual cohesion, whereas like here, because they're all colored so differently, I think they like kind of contrast, and especially like the two in the middle are like really like, especially the Hunter x Hunter one is like so like pale pink, it's like distracting almost, you know what I mean? And honestly, so like it leads some of them to being like really bright and some of them to like dimming out, and they don't all like mesh well, if that makes sense.
I don't even know if I really have that much of a problem with like the colors so much as like just maybe like kind of like the 4 on the bottom and then the 3 on the top instead of, I mean, like I don't know if it would fix it with 4 on top and 4 on the bottom and then the 2 in the middle, but like I don't know, the uneven 3 on top and 4 on bottom is just kind of weird to me. But I mean, I do kind of like part of the image. Like, I do really like the bottom part. Like, I think all the images down there are really good.
Yeah, having because the bottom row has the similar, like, you know, two characters standing side by side.
Yeah, it's like the couples.
Like, yeah, because they are drawn by different artists. They, you know, like the composition is a little bit different in each one. So it's like similar enough.
Yeah, you could say the top are all group shots and the middle are like couples. Well, I guess, but you know,
the whole, all of it. Yeah.
Well, the middle, I guess, is like best friends ? I mean,
because it's a couple on the left.
Yeah, I would assume they would probably.
And it's a couple on the right if you try hard enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not a fan. I
can kind of see what
I'm a fan of Dan, but not a fan of Dan's.
Like, thing. He has some good images in and of themselves on here. Just
yeah, the Sket Dance one goes hard, but also there's no switch. So like,
well, Switch is in that image. He just like
but not in his version. It's like, well,
yeah,
you know, Switch is kind of the goat.
Unfortunate.
A little bit. Okay, wait, he says favorite anime franchises and video game franchises. Let's look at the other one first before we decide.
I think we should do the anime one.
Yeah, it's more interesting to talk about. I mean, it's not good.
No, anyone who puts on their 3x3 is an automatic goat.
Also, you can't look. you can't just do like crazy official art and have key visual for what I'm pretty sure is a Full Metal Alchemist movie, but maybe just Brotherhood as a whole.
No, I think that is Brotherhood's.
The cover
visual.
art for a JoJo's fighting game.
Yeah.
The Hunter x Hunter cover art. A Naruto Shippuden calendar.
That's the best one.
The CD art. And then the worst Type Moon image I've maybe ever seen in my life.
Yeah, this is such a bad way to like represent Type Moon. I don't. What?
What?
I'm sorry. I don't like any of it.
Well, so the obvious issue with like using official art is, because we've talked about how like using screenshots or manga panels, it's like your own expression in that, like, here's what one thing like I like about the series, or here's what I'm picking to represent the series. Where official art, it's like, it's much harder to do that because it's usually like the image itself is meant to like represent and advertise a series, so it doesn't necessarily get specific in the ways screenshots can. And this is even just like the way that the text is kind of like there but cropped out, so you, like you can't really read it. And then I understand that that's JoJo's Adventure as a whole, but it's like, it's still a fighting game image, and it's just, the calendar is the funniest one because it's just but yeah, it's just,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know who was thinking of a 2023 calendar by using like beginning of Shippuden stuff.
You know what? To be fair, I actually, maybe just what Naruto represents to them is allowing them to know what fucking like day of the year it is. You know what I mean? Like they just have to fucking look at Kakashi to know it's a Tuesday.
True.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just like not an interesting 3x3 to
it's a 2x3. Also, I just hate it. I hate when it's not like even and symmetrical. Like the reason the 3x3 works, right? Like just visually and is simple is because it's a cube. It it's a cube, right? It's 3 times 3. There's 9 slots, or you do 4 times 4, like 16. Like stop trying to be cute. Stop trying to fuck it up. If you don't have, if you can't come up with 9 favorite anime franchises, all right? Like if you are making,
oh my god,
a collage and you are struggling to fit things on the collage, unless you're just like forcing yourself to make that collage to make it, I guess, like just give up on the collage for the time being. Unless like it is, I guess, like filling out things within a year, right? And you're like actively trying to like it's a time frame, so it's thinking of things within that time frame. Like if it's like, oh, this is my favorite, just like of a general thing, and you can't like come up with 9 of them. Like what? There's not 3 other anime you liked?
Unfortunate. I mean, it could just be someone newer to who just got into anime relatively recently. But yeah, that's even more reason to wait. Like I have like placeholder PSD files for like cartoons and books and stuff where it's literally just like maybe 2 or 3 are filled out, just because I have not. I don't feel like something I would personally put something on a 3x3 unless as a favorite if I didn't rate it like a 9 out of 10 or higher. So I just have like a few empty Photoshop things for stuff that I need to rewatch and mediums I need to get more into. So yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay. We can try to do this, but first of all, I'm just gonna say it. This is so extra. This is I don't like it. It's extra.
Yeah, honestly, I don't like it either.
Don't try to make people play like fucking I Spy or 20 Questions or some shit to like figure this out. Like we'll try to do it, I guess. But if you don't in the comments put from top left to bottom right just what every series is and list them out so that like people can tell, like on God, like it's not okay. All right.
I kind of get how in their head this seems like a fun idea, but like
nobody cares.
It's just not fun in practice to like sit here and figure it out. Like I don't really feel like doing that, and like it relies too much on actually knowing the person with some, like how abstract some of these images probably come up, like would actually realistically come across. Like I can figure a lot of these out because like I kind of know them, but it's like, yeah, if you didn't know this person at all, some of these are just incomprehensible. Like school council suggestion box. You know what I mean? School council. Like
no, that's actually
councils
pretty clearly
are in.
Box,
I mean,
I actually think
you know that,
but
ones. Like, there's still like so many that.
The other problem with
anime.
this is it's not like you didn't post the solution. Like if you had posted it and then like somehow spoiler tagged the solution, that goes crazy. Because then we can at least do it and then immediately like compare it. But now there's like, and I guess you're like giving us free engagement because you're giving us the response in the comments. But also like now we're sitting here doing a puzzle, waiting for a response when like it's very arbitrary what goes into the puzzle, and like we won't even know which ones we were right on or not. You know what I mean? But we can see how many of these we can get. I think people will find some of them obvious. I don't know.
So obviously Naruto is the
Naruto right there.
The fish
Nisekoi is
this
obvious.
This is Rosario Vampire. This is MHA. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. Can you see my mouse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nisekoi is obvious.
Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm pretty sure that's the pyramid.
Yeah, that is the pyramid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have figured that out.
What's the one with the gun on the? Is that?
I would guess Trigun, but I don't know if.
I know they consumed it, but I don't remember if that was like a favorite.
Read Trigun.
No, they have. I just didn't remember if it was a favorite, but I guess so.
I don't know what Galileo's doing chilling in the middle one, but he's good.
I assume
that's
Roboco.
On that's the left Roboco.
Is Roboco. They're all Roboco. I assume the one on the left is not under the puppet is probably Sailor Moon. Just
Yeah, that's definitely Sailor Moon.
Oh yeah,
I forgot to point that one out.
I don't know any on the bottom row. Was the bottom right Mario 3?
I know they like Twin Star Exorcist. Let me look for which one that would be. Maybe this one, this third.
I mean, there's one that's like a wedding. That's that could be maybe the constellation adders.
What's the scarf? Is blue
black?
I don't know.
I remember them liking that one manga where it has that guy screaming at that girl who also screams. I don't remember what that's called, and I don't know what this would what that would be on.
I'm moving on. I can't do this anymore. Yeah, I give up.
Okay.
This is like when we tried to do Sporkle. Oh, so if you look, Natty posted 4 of them, and I just said, Natty, did you read? The part said 1 per person. And then he says, pick one then, and post a picture of Daredevil. I don't know who you think you are. And he said, you tell me which one. And he said, flip a coin between the game or manga one. I'm not flipping a coin. Let's look at this video game one. We haven't looked at any video game ones yet.
Okay. This one actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe aside from a few images.
Let me go through some of these games just to look. I mean, Yakuza 0 goes hard, but I think I liked 1 more, or at least the remake of 1. What Sonic game is that?
That's no, that's Gens. That's Generations. Yeah, okay. For sure.
Guardians of the Galaxy goes hard. KOF 15 goes hard. Everyone knows Natty loves fighters. I didn't play the 3D Kirby, so I'm surprised to see that. Crash 4 is interesting to see. I feel like I haven't seen many people that like that game. I like the Dead Space picture. I like the No More Heroes. I like the Guardians of the Galaxy picture.
Right there?
Yeah, that is Bayonetta.
I actually didn't know Natty had that in his favorites.
I don't like the Persona 4 Golden and the Rainbow Six Siege pictures along with everything else. And the biggest reason is because I know for a fact that both of those are like promotional art. And I think when everything else is
like I think when he actually picked
screenshots, it's kind of like
in-game screenshots, they were really good, but some of the ones that are just like
I guess the Spider-Man one's a loading screen, but you know what? It's fair enough.
And also just the cropping with the Persona one is like 2 of the characters at the top or just
3 of the characters. 4 of the characters are cut off.
Yeah. It's just really obvious with a couple of them, but it's a little iffy.
Yeah, you're not showing Kanji or Teddy. Lame.
Overall, I do think it's like a unique selection of games. Like it's pretty varied.
I agree.
Like, pretty good pick choices. Generally, like a couple iffy.
Yeah, minus maybe Rainbow Six Siege is kind of a little lame.
I noticed the GameSpot on here on this one.
Yeah, that's silly. But I think for the most part, like pretty good game choices. Everything I've played on here, I liked what I played of it, or have really arbitrary reasons for not liking it that you can't really argue with because I'm just a bitch and will cry. You know what I mean? Looking at you, Dishonored.
I've only played 2 of these games.
Which ones?
Pokemon Platinum.
Can I guess? Oh shit, never mind.
You can guess the other one.
Platinum and
it's you're a DuckTales remastered kind of guy, ain't you?
I don't think he's played
it. Was Cuphead.
Damn.
Oh, I probably wouldn't have been able to figure that out.
Because I don't think I've ever talked about playing Cuphead ever in my life.
Favorite characters. All right. Okay. All right.
That Naruto picture is really bad.
I don't like many of these. And I don't know some of these characters. Who is top right?
I do not.
I'm
know.
assuming that's from a book.
Is it? No. I don't know.
It kind of looks like from a book to me.
But who is it? If it's from a book.
I think it's just from a book.
I don't know. Could it be a game? Like, if it's like a Game of Thrones character, I want to figure out who. I don't know.
If it is Game of Thrones, the only guess I
would assume Jaime.
Jamie Lannister. That's the only character I would guess from Game of Thrones.
Jaime Lannister seems like a white kind of guy, I think. Especially having Takasugi and Tony Soprano on here.
This 3x3,
big tone.
like, if this is a recent one they made, it somehow looks like something that would be someone's old 3x3 before they like remade it.
I don't like the Tony Soprano art. I think just like find a picture of him from the show because it's silly.
Well, I guess I'm pretty sure that they wanted it to be consistent because if they use Jaime Lannister art and not just the fucking actor from the show, like, same reason.
Yeah, but the difference there could be it would be like, oh, well, I like Jaime in the books, not in the show, or I haven't seen the show, versus like Tony Soprano, like you didn't watch, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do like the ducks in the background though. That does go hard to the image. I feel the same way about the Naruto image that I do the image of the guy from whatever Tales game he's from and Takasugi, where I feel like the actual like quality of the art that is like the picture is like really low. Like, I know it's because it's like probably it's hard to find like really high quality art like the other characters have, but like they just look low detail compared to everyone else.
And do
like
you guys know who
picture,
bottom left is? Sorry, I just was curious.
Bottom left. I think it's a Monogatari character.
Oh, it definitely is.
Oh, I just
it definitely is Sengoku.
Okay, I wouldn't have. Okay, I know what she looks like in the anime, but okay. Yeah, I did. Okay, now I see it
Naruto,
now.
yeah, Naruto.
Yeah. Sengoku, yeah.
Yeah,
sorry,
lame.
Someone else was saying something, but yeah.
Cloud goes hard. I hope it's Jaime, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not into a lot of the picture choices, and like I feel like it doesn't even like properly show off some of these characters' like personalities and what makes them good. Like the Naruto picture, it's like I don't know, it's just weird. It's simultaneously like a little too cool, but also looks like shit. So it's like I don't know. Which bothers me. And then the Cloud picture's kind of boring. There's like a lot of other Cloud pictures.
I actually like the Cloud picture. It's fine. He looks good. Pretty boy. You're allowed to just post Cloud and just rely on how pretty he is. All right. Once again, we run into the same
love that Hunter picture.
Fucking problem. Alrighty. I see 3 of these that have just been blatantly stolen from. I don't care. I'm gonna have to break because I brought it up once, so I have to bring it up every time. You know what I mean? I can't be partial.
Unfortunate.
It is. I like the Fire Force image. I like the Koe no Katachi image.
Yeah, I actually the Koe no Katachi image.
I am not the biggest fan of people who use that Ippo image because while I like it a lot and I like that moment and I like that fight a lot, I think that fight moment and stuff is not like indicative of the series as a whole. And like, considering like my man's was wrong in the moment, I feel like I don't know. I don't like its usage in collages just because I feel like it is by design not the series and just like kind of being like, oh, this is the series. And maybe I'm looking too much into picture choice. But to me, like if you want your pictures to have something to do with and relate to like the meaning of the series, using a moment where a character is like betraying that, like I guess it's fine and you could argue that like that is still a great moment and stuff, but you know what I mean? Like it's not, I think.
Yeah, I guess in that case we'd have
powerful.
to wonder what Velocity specifically thinks about that moment, or because
right.
Maybe there's something more personal there, right? So
yeah,
but yeah, that's not really gotten across. And then as far as text goes, I don't love it, but I don't. I've seen way worse already today, so I can't be too.
I think the
mad.
text in all of them is good too. I think that like none of the text in them detracts.
Yeah,
I think it could have been arranged better if it was gonna have like the text stuff.
That's true.
Just because the Naruto one at the top left just stands out weirdly and stuff. But
that one I have a slight issue with just because it's only part of it's just part of the sentence, where at least with the other the others it's like the full. At least, even if you don't have the context of the moment, at least like there's just a whole, I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't read that and be like, oh, I want to see the rest. It's like, yeah, ninjas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, I know the context because I read the manga, but that's fair. Okay.
Good Sket Dance image. I mean, it is stolen from Vindy, but I can't hate when it's Sket Dance love. Like, very few people are gonna have Sket Dance on their thing.
That's
so,
true.
Like,
And like everyone I think who has
it's
it is
fine.
gonna want to have the same moment in Sket Dance because it is like the best part of the manga. You know what I mean?
I would have a different moment.
Yeah, but that's because you would
I'm a
intentionally want to
different
do it.
man. Also, the Hunter x Hunter one's cropped badly. I don't like having the whole big box with page 63.
And his big ass Kingdom Hearts shoes. Nope, skipped. 10
10 out of 10. Best one we've seen so far. I haven't even
Bottom
watched
right.
Code Geass.
I have a little thing to admit later, but
Oh, I like
It's
Suzaku now. The movies changed my life. Shut up.
What's up with the
Fine,
bottom middle one
God.
with him? Like, did he fall? Like, what the fuck's going on there?
yeah, he's falling.
Okay.
The cliff crumbles below him, and he's
Dude, me.
falling down.
That's me.
I like the one, the bottom left one where his face just looks weird. I like it.
My graphics, you need help. You're worse than Luna.
Anyway,
Okay. You know, I think if you're gonna do VNs, like having CGs just works, so I won't complain about it. And I like that a lot of these are like there is shot consistency in what they're doing. Like most of them are wide shots. You know what I mean? Of like in a lot of cases, two characters far out. There's one that's a close up, but it works in the middle, and then the other two outside of it are medium shots, like on middle left and middle right. But for the most part, a lot of them are like wides. I think it works. I think yeah, it's good. I actually like it.
This one's pretty good.
Yeah.
Obviously, the thing with the manga stands out, but like they couldn't avoid that. Like, there's
Yeah.
literally not much you could do.
And I think
it's
that-
pretty good.
The other thing I would say about it is that like I think a lot of these pictures only work in the context of this 3x3. So I think like in a different 3x3 with different pictures that don't fit like aesthetically, some of these pictures would not be good. Like I don't think I would like the ReZero picture, for example, in another one. But I think in this one it goes like crazy hard and is really good, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like one thing I was going to point out how with the manga one is that, you know, it's the only manga on this, or it's the only non-colored image on 303, but it's like, I feel like the way it's between two of the lighter colored images, like, helps it work, right? Like, if you, on that whole left side is just lighter in color than the rest of it, so it doesn't stand out too much, which is, you know, yeah, like I was saying before about the balancing, you know.
You have a version 2, but I don't care to look at that. I don't know if I'm a big fan of, like, the square size. I mean, that might be just me, and like it's probably kind of fine, but I don't really prefer it over like just straight up wide or just straight up like cubed or whatever, squared. But yeah, it's whatever, I guess.
I don't like how many are faces uncovered and how many are faces covered. I feel like doing one where faces are uncovered, like aesthetically, is really cool, and you have that with like 4 of them, right? Like whatever top right is, the Madoka Magica one, the middle left and bottom left, like the whatever, like the major character that's in the frame, their face is covered, and then the other ones like it isn't. And I think that like having them, like I don't know why I'm being so nitpicky today. People are gonna be fucking mad at me in the comments, but like just I think like I can see like what like almost looks like a lot of like some of them are like together in one way and then the other ones aren't.
Yes, some of the picture choices seem a little random. I can't fully see the vision,
but I like the ones where the faces aren't covered, and I like some of the ones where you can see their faces. Like I like the middle one. I like the middle one, and I like the bottom right, and I even like the top middle as well. I think those are like good.
The only pick choice I have an issue with is the bottom left. Like I love Girls of Panzer is great. I'm just not sure about that specific choice. As far as
it
images
works
go.
if all of them are like uncovered faces. I think it like works well.
Oh, I just realized the cutoff character down here is kind of odd, but it's fine, I guess.
And also, I just want to say that as far as like series choices go, aside from like Review Starlight, all the ones I've seen here, I really fucking like. So, fucking Aikatsu is a Chad pick, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Craftsdwarf.
What?
You need help.
No.
No one watches Aikatsu twice and doesn't need to find
Me.
God. All right, first of all, before I say anything, having RE5 as your Resident Evil pick is based red pilled, and it is what I decided I will be doing in all future games ones I make as well. RE5 is like actually the GOAT of the series, and it needs more respect on its name. So I'll give you that. Off rip. Besides that, I don't know. I haven't played a bunch of these games.
I mean, as far as pick choice goes, they all look like gameplay, except for the only one I don't think the Nio one is. I don't think the game does the game look like that good in gameplay. On the right,
I think that is. It could be
because I haven't played it.
It could be isn't it Neo 2?
It says Nio on that's what he's the one he
just
lists. So
I don't know.
I mean, of course, it could be.
I don't think
like,
it's distracting.
Like more promo art that's made to look like the game. Like but I can't tell because I also have not played. Like the ones I have played or seen enough gameplay of to know. Like they look like gameplay. So
yeah, there's a bunch of games on here I really want to play. So, one or two I don't, but like a bunch of the games on here, like I want to play, but I can't say much more. Like I've only played a very little bit of Ninja Gaiden Black, but I liked it. Asura's Wrath is a game I want to play so fucking bad. Neo I've tried and couldn't get into. Demon Souls I want to play. Metal Gear Solid, and Crash 1 is like the weakest of the Crash games, but I'm also not the world's biggest Crash Bandicoot fan. But I want to try Crash 4 really bad because that game looks sick.
I'm stuck on Ninja Gaiden Sigma on some bullshit. So I'm a big Ninja Gaiden hater now. So
yeah, I hate that the Sigma versions are the ones that got redone. I wanted it to be the other versions, but whatever, it's fine.
Honestly, overall, this is probably one of the best ones.
It's good
that we've seen. I think
great picture choices all around. The only one that personally I am not a fan of and would never use, but it's just because of what I personally like about the series and whatever, is the Haikyuu one. I would never put Oikawa in it over any Karasuno member.
Of course not. If you like him, that's like the same as liking a fucking mass murderer.
But like that is a great moment, and I do love that like the whole sequence in the anime. So like it's fine, I get it. It's just like personally,
but yeah, these are really good pick choices, and like I can't even be mad about seeing that One Piece one for the second time today because it's also just a phenomenal like pick, and that episode is phenomenal. Like, of course, I get it. I understand completely.
Like honestly, I feel like some of these choices are like interesting too. Of like, I really like the zoomed out like Made in Abyss one. Like some of the ones that are more like scenery based, he like kind of really makes it work somehow.
The Sangatsu one goes crazy. I like the Beastars one. Whatever top left is goes crazy too.
Top left is that the far top left is Konosuba.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, that's from the movie.
Oh, that's good.
The only two that I kind of not into is the Hunter x Hunter and whatever this is, but maybe it's because I don't know what the other one is, so I don't.
Isn't that Monogatari?
It's Monogatari.
That's Ogi Math or whatever. No, Hitogi Math.
That's
okay.
no.
Well, I didn't get that far.
The only decent black.
Man.
Okay, well, all right. How can you say that with Nunmanji right there? Right. Everyone knows you told him last time we stopped recording that he was one of the good ones.
The joke is that one of the theme songs for her arcs is called Descent Black.
No. The joke is that you're racist.
That's also the joke. All right, move on.
But yeah, pretty good.
Good. One of the better ones we've covered so far for sure.
Yeah.
This fucking guy.
Disgusting.
We know he watches like every episode, so to still send us something like this, he's insane.
Also, did you go through a World War II phase? Whatever this Hitler thing on the bottom left is, and Schindler's List? Like, you can't do both of those in the same year. That's a cry for help. Like, I need to check, like, your body for tattoos. Make sure you don't have any fucking secret hidden ones. You know what I mean? Make sure you still got the hair on your head.
This just looks so bad. And
besides
so,
that, like
cobbled together in like
everything
2
on
seconds.
here is either like I need to experience it because like I still haven't seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, even though I know everyone loved that movie. I want to play God of War Ragnarok really bad. I'm sure that game goes hard. I never finished Dr. Stone or Fire Force, but I liked them. But like I love Kingdom, so you're like one for. I guess I like Good Will Hunting, so you're 2 for 2, I guess.
But yeah,
for like in terms of like quality of the things, I don't know.
But yeah, my issue is all the pictures are like, movie posters or covers or volumes. So there's again just not lacking that expression, and it's just not composed very like the Schindler's List. Like half the titles cut off. When it honestly just looked better if it was just the hands, and no text at all. So just common issues.
Yeah.
It has Lelouch. That means the whole thing's good.
It's fine. Fan
I
art.
mean, there's a lot of fan art. And
Well, I think
it's also like some of the things are like
he's got little
poking out
busters, so
and
it's a W.
uncentered.
You know what? He's got little busters, so it's a W. I don't care.
I'm gonna remind you, it's the Little Busters anime that they like.
We literally.
Sorry,
I don't think you
came
remember
up.
from last time.
It came out of me. I'm so sorry.
Well,
you
my
should
issue
not
is
have-
that if you look at the borders too hard, a lot same issue as last time, where a lot of them it just feel the imbalance is wrong with the white black, and so it's all over the place.
Like some of them, it's like it's not even like it's a little off where I can be like, okay, maybe they just didn't notice, or like they at least tried their best. But some of them are like so off and so like.
By the way, let me clarify. I'm not throwing up at the thought of someone just enjoying the Little Busters anime. I'm throwing up at the thought of a Little Busters anime existing in the first place, because it just shouldn't. Just want to clarify. That's what makes me sick.
But in terms of the series themselves, there's like some good stuff on here. Like obviously Persona 4. I mean, actually that's like multiple Persona protagonists. I don't even like. Is that just like Persona in general? I don't really know.
Yeah, well, you said it's favorite Weeb things. I mean, I guess you could say it's Persona Q2.
Is that not the protagonist from the only Persona games anyone cares about?
Well, yeah, it's 3.
Some people
4,
care about
and
1 and
5.
2.
Yeah, I know, but like they're not real people, even though
they're old.
It's gonna be
Hitler's in
like,
2.
a year or
Hitler's
two
in 2.
when I finally get around to them, but.
Fucking
actually really
Weird Bros
don't like
should have
that
played it, dude. He
Gatsu
would have fucking loved
picture.
it. Hitler's in it.
I'm not even like a big 3 Gatsu guy yet, but using that to represent the series just seems really L, I think.
I won't say anything about it. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean it has Lelouch, so it saves everything.
Yeah.
Understandable.
I love it. I don't even care. I love it.
Yeah, I really like the color scheme, like the very
I
consistent
love it.
color scheme of like
that's great,
red,
yeah.
orange, like sunset kind of.
I don't
gradient
even
thing.
care that this is one of those 4x4s. I see it. I genuinely don't care what the series are. I'm not even gonna look at it and try to figure out what they are. I just love like the colors and the aesthetic of it so much that I just look at it. It's aesthetically pleasing and I move on, and that's on fucking God.
This is a really cool Ava picture. I actually really like that. It's like it's not what like anybody would think of using for the series, but like that's very particular.
Also, this is some boomer fucking taste.
Yeah, I mean it definitely is, but
It's
I mean there's definitely some new
I
stuff.
respect it though.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the best ones that we've looked at. This and I think that guy's name was Alex. I don't remember.
Yeah, Oblivion I think was the at.
My only nitpick here is in the corner between there's the Ashina Joe hand over the sun, and then there's the in its upper left there's a Hunter x Hunter one where it's just like that specific area. There's like see notice where the black ground from the Hunter x Hunter one goes into like and it swaps with the red one. Like
Oh, I see.
So it like trips me up a little bit. Like and it might even be intentional, but it just and it's, even then it's like the tiny it's the tiniest nitpick where it's like this one corner area bad, throw it out. It's like no, like it's still a really good 4x4. It's just that's the one little thing I noticed that was a little weird to me.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh my God! I'm speechless. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything.
Everything you said bad about Dan's, you need to take it back because like this is
formatting
an example
of a god,
like where it's like going outside of the normal format, but not like Dan's. I think is fine. Like I have some minor issues with it, but like I this is there's.
Everything that I have said wrong with it, Why are 4 of them? Why are 5 of them? 6 of them, maybe just fucking like wallpapers that you would find on like Google if you looked up like Kaguya-sama wallpaper and One Piece wallpaper and Assassination Classroom wallpaper and Soul Leader wallpaper. And Space Brothers wallpaper, like and then one of them is a spread, like one of them's a volume cover. They overlap. I can't. I'm speechless. Like we have to move on. This is like stomach.
I hate these types of wallpapers with like the faceless, like
The minimalist, yeah.
yeah, like they never look good.
They were like stylish in like what, 2012, 2011?
What's upper left
Yeah, I
supposed
can't-
to be?
Upper left.
I don't recognize it.
It looks like semi-familiar, but I can't tell.
It's Zatch Bell. I don't know if that's the case, but I'm just saying that.
Okay,
Yeah,
Zatch
so
Bell.
Zatch Bell, known for its horses.
Yeah. Okay, this is VN's. Uda 1 goes crazy. I need to play Uda 2 and 3 because I own them and the main guy seems funny. Monster Girl Quest goes crazy hard to put on something like this. I respect the Little Busters CG just because I see it and in my head I know the line that Kyosuke says in that moment and it is goated. Or that Kengo says in that moment. I'm sorry, not Kyosuke. That being said, I will always and forever use the Kyosuke CG that's immediately after that, and I think you just like I would almost feel like it's required, or using like the picture taken, just because like Kengo's like the most lame of the original Little Busters, but it's fine. That moment still goes hard. I don't know.
Is he just a guy?
I don't like what is top left.
So it's Chaos Child. I like looking at it. I can understand.
You know
why.
what I'm about to say.
So I know why that scene would be chosen, just like it's because of the context of the scene. But as like a 3x3 images, it's like it's definitely doesn't quite work in the way. It's chosen because it's meaningful, not because it like works as a good 3x3 image, if that makes sense. So I understand it. It's just it's a little definitely unfortunate.
Whatever this one is seems kind of neat. I guess.
Udaware
I don't know what
Ramono.
that is.
It's
okay.
just
Underwater
as much
Ray Romano.
Yeah. Underwater. My cat Raymond is it's like a tactical RPG as much as it is a VN. So it's like half you're playing like Fire Emblem and half it got a remake. So I played like the original, which was like kind of clunky and like annoying to install. But there's a remake now that exists. The only thing is it cuts out the sex scenes, so you won't see all the female characters' tits. But
dropped 0 to 10.
It'll play a lot better if you play the newer version. And the main lady in the second game, let me try to fucking find her. She's cute as fuck.
While you look that up, I just want to say, like, I looking at it for more than a second, I realized what it is. But for some reason, the bottom middle looks like a dick handshake, like something about.
No, that's Little Busters. That's Little Busters. You shut your mouth right now.
The bottom middle? Okay. I don't know. Yeah, just the way.
Yes, that's
first
Little
glance,
Busters.
It looks like his hand is coming out of like his nether regions, and he's doing a dick
No,
handshake.
shut up. Do not shut up. Do not talk about that scene.
This guy's so tight.
This is the lady from Uda 2. She's fucking. I love Kuan.
Cute.
And the main guy you play in 2 is such a fucking bro. I love him. Or like the protagonist. Oh, another guy stealing my. I don't care.
Obviously we can see the red line right there, and then like a yellow line, and then blue, like cyan blue lines. I don't understand why like the borders. There's like multiple
what is up with
colors.
that?
I don't know where that came from. Dark blue there.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't get it. Aside from that, I think the pics are pretty good. They're fine. Not exceptional.
I think some of the
but
pictures are actually pretty bad.
Oh, unfortunately.
But I don't feel like getting into it that much. I think the Tomoko Market one's pretty bad. This one's pretty bad. I don't know.
Was that air?
They somehow took the K-On! One and made it look kind of bad in this.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with
even
that
though it's
one.
normally good. Like, I guess the
Canon?
picture quality or like the color filter on this one is just like not the regular one. Yeah, I guess this is canon or whatever.
It's definitely a key series. I just don't know if it's canon or air.
Yeah, I don't know.
Alrighty. Let's go. Next. Bad.
Okay.
White borders, multiple instances of box art, 2 CGs, fan art for Pokemon Black, which like I get, like it's Pokemon.
No, that's
Actually,
that's
I don't
official
think
art.
that's fan art.
That's official
Yeah, I'm
art.
pretty sure that's
art.
official.
Oh, well,
it's just like one of those official things where it's a very
representing
different
the
style
battle,
than
the battle subway is the battle tower in that game, and that's
Okay.
that's what it's doing.
like okay, well, I stand by my previous statement still. I don't like the use of box art or like I don't know.
The only one I can see like why maybe picking an image would be a little challenging is like Hades, because like picking an in-game. I mean, I guess there is that one picture.
Just use the one that I use. I don't care. Everyone should use it. It goes crazy.
Yeah, there's like a few things, but like in terms of, I guess I could see a little bit of the difficulty, but I forgot about that when I was saying that.
I don't like I don't like using the Xenoblade one. I don't like the P5R one. Chrono Trigger's okay. I think if you can use a shot of the party, it works. I don't like the Breath of the Wild one. The Punch Out one's okay, I guess. I don't know.
The pictures are just like kind of
also white borders.
Unfortunate.
Had to be put out there.
Thoughts on this?
Well, I want to real quick. I want to add that Luna literally made a version of that. Like if you look at the replies.
Yeah. I was in the call when he was doing this.
Yeah, so I guess like what I'll say about the 3x3 is that like it looks different than any other 3x3 I've seen, but it also
don't give him that. No,
it definitely lacks any sort of
We did not ask for.
I could take 9 pictures
Direct.
of poop and use that. It would look different from any 3x3 you'd ever seen. Doesn't make it good.
Yeah, but...
now, I'm not saying this one's that bad, but
no, using the title is very bad. It's less memorable than like some of the terrible ones we looked at.
That's okay. But yeah, Luna's version is pretty good.
Luna made it to be toxic, but I predicted that this guy would be thankful, and he is.
Are we done, or are there more?
There's one more. What is this?
I guess it's just favorite media in general.
I don't like any of it. I don't like a single picture choice.
The thick white borders is really bad. I hate when people use this persona image.
The part 7 picture is fine. That's the only picture that's good.
I mean, this whatever this is right here is a good picture. It's just like the other stuff's bad.
Why is the opacity in the Chainsaw Man one fucked?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Because there's some kind of meme thing over it.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on there.
I don't like the Kaguya image. I don't like using the Dark Souls 3 box art.
And
it's also the worst box art. Like if you're gonna use one, use what is it? The not the Japanese box art. The one of the like other versions. The one that has fucking Gale and Sister Frida. I think the Fire Fades edition box art.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't think I've seen that one actually.
Look at fucking this one go so crazy.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, like at least look for like different art that's like good or interesting. Don't just go with fucking, oh, it's the guy with his thumb up. Like I actually, or I guess it's not his thumb up. It's just he's holding something. I don't know. I fucking hate the Dark Souls 3 box art. It's lame as fuck. And people who like it need to find God.
I feel like this 3x3 and some of the other ones we looked at, they look like 3x3s people would make when people literally just started making 3x3s and it just started becoming a trend. Not something that someone would make like now.
Yeah, using a Game Boy Color box art is pretty L as well.
That's definitely aside from the Chainsaw Man one, that's definitely like the most thing I have where it's like I don't know what's going on with Chainsaw Man, but yeah, Pokemon Game Boy Color.
My favorite part is we shit on everyone's, and I'm gonna post the most dog shit 3x3 y'all have ever seen. It goes so hard. I love it.
All right, so are we? Yeah, I think we're done. So we're gonna go into ours, I guess, real quick. Just what?
I'll post mine first since I have it. Are we
just gonna post one of ours or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna posting the most recent one I made, which was my one of stuff for last year. And I will say before I start, the biggest problem I ran into was that 3 of them were books, 2 of them were albums, 1 of them was an MMO. Do you know how hard it is to find good pictures from an MMO? And then there are no pictures in books or albums, so you just have to use, I just felt like I had to just, at that point, just so that people could know what it was without trying to find fan art and then have people ask. Because I think, it can be helpful to just have someone see it and know what it is. I just used the cover art for the books, and I cropped it so that the title of the books is in, and I tried to crop out anything else other than the title, and then it includes in all of them.
The book title on the top right, the top left, not fully in.
It is. The book's just called Words of Radiance. That's the author name. I couldn't fully crop it out.
Okay, okay.
I couldn't. I couldn't crop it out
Definitely
and have the title. I couldn't crop it out and have the title fit in wide enough. I tried. Like if I cropped it so that it wasn't there, because it's right at the bottom of the image, so I can't pull it down anymore. If I zoom in anymore, then it would cut off the title of the book.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, this almost looks fine aside from the top left, like given the
Um,
concession of the books thing. Like, I actually don't really think it looks
And then
that bad.
I hate that the #1 New York Times bestselling author is there for Rhythm of War and Oathbringer, but I do like that I was able to show, like, it was able to have the whatever, like, the number it was of the series helps. Albums, you just have to do the album art. Like, there's no other option. Thankfully, the album art for both albums I liked was good, so they look nice. And then I really liked my Better Call Saul, Before Your Eyes, Yakuza Kiwami pictures. I think go hard, so.
Yeah, no, good picks for what you could do, for sure. Like, really good picks for the ones that you had the option, you know, the Better Call Saul pick is a really good one in particular. I like it. Right. I am going to post mine. So this is my recently updated and already, or like in like 2 days going to be outdated manga 4x4. So a lot of these are, you know, familiar. The One Piece one I want to change after I reread Wano. Other than that, new additions. Naruto I moved up because I realized I definitely like it more than I had it on the previous one. Ippo.
Yeah, just gonna keep going up and up. Let's go.
Tsubasa and Steel Ball Run were added this year after I reread them. Holic, which is the sort of sister manga to Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle, is going to go on here. It's just I haven't finished it yet and found a pick that I want to use. So, and then Pluto and Girls Last Tour were added last year when I read them. So, yeah, same 4x4, just a couple changes. And we'll be changing throughout the year as I reread more favorites and maybe tweak some pictures or some orders. So, yeah.
Should I post my manga one that I think is like kind of bad, or should I post like my 2022 media thing?
Do your
I feel like
2022 one.
probably. Okay, I don't remember if I talked about that on the Weeb Club or like showed the actual image or whatever. Let me find it real quick.
Oh yeah, I just remembered. I think I had to Photoshop some shit with the Ippo one, but get some text out of there. But it turned out okay.
I like some of the images you used here. I will give you one big thing, which is you did use the Pokemon Crystal box art, and you cannot hide that from me.
Yeah, I mean, an in-game screenshot would look so bad. Like, I don't even know what I would use other than that. At least I don't have the like text and stuff or the Game Boy thing on the side.
It's true, but you know what? I actually respect when people who do old Pokemon games will have either just like a Pokemon sprite or like the battle sprites. I
tried to have like a
silly
battle, but like it has too much text and it like crops really badly. So it's just like I literally.
I think
do
the
that.
Sonic one is silly. He's got moves. The Dress Up Darling one's good. Terraria one's good.
I was gonna ask, is that just from like, did you find it or did you make? Is that your actual thing in Terraria?
No, that's our actual place. That's the Brett Memorial specifically.
That goes like double as hard then. Last of Us picture's crazy good. Brother, have you started that show yet, or are you hateful still?
I haven't. I've thought about starting it, but I still haven't.
You will. I think
fulfilled
you'll
my
love
thing.
it. It's so good.
I might break the thing and not fulfill what I wanted to do before I watched it, but we'll see. Yeah, I think this looks all right. Like I don't have that much problems with this.
Seasonal anime hater has 2 seasonal anime on his.
Yeah, I know. when I actually watched seasonals, I remember like, oh wait, I liked quite a few of them. Like I really like Bocchi the Rock as well. I mean, if it was like a 4x4, it'd probably be on there or something. But
Anyway.
Good Pokemon image as well.
All right, are we finished? Oh, actually, I guess if we're finished before we move on. So, I mean, one person posted the Reddit. Also, if you're a patron, you can literally just suggest us topics. No more patron poll. We'll just pick a topic if we need one. So, but unfortunately, I don't think I literally posted about it, and I don't think anyone has suggested topics yet. So, what the fuck are you doing?
I mean, I can see why they would forget to check after we've been gone.
That's fair, but I think I thought I mentioned it the Patreon last time, but now I'm mentioning it again. So fucking do it. Suggest things because we need topics. Anyway.
Mention it again in the beginning of the next episode. This might be too far in.
Yeah,
who knows?
I realized that. I forgot. All right. I guess backlog round rotations.
Yay!
It's my turn, right?
Yeah.
So I finally finished all of Code Geass, the movies, the R1, R2. I watched like the Akito stuff. I don't even know if it counts as movies because like I think it's just Mal that like has it as movies, but it's technically like an OVA series. I mean, they're all an hour, but I don't know.
Well, if they
they're
count
probably
as
not
movies,
really movies.
I assume they aired theatrically. So
it based on the promos at the end of them, it seemed like they did, but like I don't even know. But I guess I want to talk about like just the whole thing because I really, really, really like Code Geass, like even more than I did before. Just because like I felt like I needed to rewatch R2 just for that last half, and I basically did that through the like recap movies because they're like mostly the same. It's just like they kind of gloss over some stuff, and like there's really only like one notable change before they actually do the completely original movie. That notable change is really dog shit though, but it's whatever. I actually like understood what was going on in R2 that second half, so now it's just like my favorite stretch of the series. Like to give you an idea, it literally bumped up R2 like if we were gonna go by score wise by 2 points, which is quite a bit. Like honestly, I would have given like season 1 and season 2 like a 7, but like now season 1 might be an 8, maybe still 7. I don't know. But like R2 is like a 9. Like I really, really like R2. Like that last section, like that last half, just goes so hard, and like I was so like pulled into the battles and like everything that was going on, and just like the shit of like like them talking about how like, you know, Lelouch has been living a lie, and like his Code Geass is a tool of deception, and like it is this way of him making people have to live a lie by like contradicting like what people's true motives and like true personality is. But like the shit, like I hate that what Suzaku said to Lelouch just kind of went hard of like, now you should live up to your lies of like, since Zero was touted up as like a knight of justice, Suzaku basically tells him, actually become that person, actually do these things. And like, like it was just so, I was so into it. And also like, I have to admit, I kind of like Suzaku now, kind of. Like, I still think he's really stupid, and like his stuff from like R1 and like beginning of R2 is still really cringe, because like just the idea of like being under the system in the way he is. But like obviously he does move past that and change, and like he's not beholden to the system anymore. And in some ways it's like I can't hate on Suzaku as much, because like it would also be me not necessarily being hypocritical about Lelouch, but like the fact that like both of them are on this like path that is wrong, but because they've already like so deeply ingrained themselves into it, they feel like they have to continue down this road. Like they're both doing the same thing, just on different ends. So to be like harsher on Suzaku about it than Lelouch is something that's like not necessarily justifiable. Even if like the thing I wish Code Geass did more was like, it does show how Suzaku is also wrong and also a hypocrite. Like they're both like Lelouch says like, we're not going to argue who's the bigger hypocrite here or whatever, but like I just feel like Lelouch gets beaten down so much for his like bad thinking, whereas like Suzaku, I wish he got beaten down a little bit more. I mean, like Colin literally beats him up in one scene, and like he loses a lot, and like I just like,
well,
his like smug looking down on Lelouch really pisses me off. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I assume Suzaku isn't literally like responsible for like the person he cares about the most doing something horrible on his behalf, like as far as like the characters getting beaten down. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I just like I don't know. Like I almost wish it was like just a little bit more direct about how like Suzaku's thinking is like really bad, and like there is this moment later on where like even when he's like going against the system and stuff, he still says to Colin, like he basically says how she didn't try to like actually be a part of the system to make change or whatever, even though like, Suzaku, you're going against the system now, why are you still saying this? And like I like the way I kind of interpret that is like he's still kind of saying like, at least I tried to be part of the system, and because I tried to be a part of the system, I learned the ways in which it was wrong, and now I know my own way to oppose it or whatever. But like, he's still like really cringe sometimes. So like, I also thought he was really cool at certain points, like especially when he's like, oh I forgot to say spoilers for Code Geass. This is actually just straight up skip this part, but him like working with Lelouch, and like I love the fact that like, instead of having this anger for Lelouch, eventually it evolves into this like sympathy for Lelouch. The fact that like he knows that Lelouch was driven into despair and driven into these bad things because of the Emperor, and like him fighting for Lelouch's sake and Nunnally's sake because he like now understands that and has like the capacity to forgive Lelouch, was like, oh, this is really good. And like, his fight scenes were just really cool. I don't know, like, I'm a little bit of a Suzaku guy just because, like, I do like seeing Lelouch and Suzaku together. Like, they do have a dynamic that's really cool to see. That second half is just, like, insanely good. And I guess in terms of, like, the actual, like, recap movies themselves, they're, like, mostly the same. I think they're actually skippable. Like, I wouldn't, like, literally say you have to watch those. You could just watch R1, R2, and then watch R3 or Resurrection of Lelouch or whatever. Like, the only thing you would literally have to know is just that, like, a character from R1, R2 that was dead is alive in the movie versions. Even though it's, like, super dumb that they did that, because I don't think they do enough with that character being alive to justify it. And they lose more from that character being alive than, like, they gain from them being alive. Because, like, one of the things, so like a character, like basically someone that Lelouch is like really angry at and really like wants to kill because they killed that character. It like, okay, so like this character named Rollo kills a character that's dear to Lelouch. And so that's why Lelouch hates Rollo so much. But because that doesn't happen in the movie version, it literally doesn't make sense that Lelouch would hate Rollo to the point of like really wanting to kill him. Like, I can see like Lelouch hating Rollo still makes sense, but like to that like extent that he does, it like it literally just doesn't make sense, and it like kind of just makes Lelouch like look worse for no reason. But and then also like that character death is also like somewhat important for Suzaku, and like she like I'm making a little too clear which character is, but I already said she. But she like instills this lesson of like nothing is truly forgivable. It's really like what someone is willing to forgive and like what is like crosses the line, and that's part of why Suzaku forgives Lelouch. Like Suzaku's thing isn't as damaged, I would say. I could still see how he can like semi forgive Lelouch and semi overcome it, but it's just like that character should have just like stayed dead. It was like I also really liked something that R3 kind of did even more so, but like R1 and R2 do it as well, where like they kind of make a distinction between Lelouch Lamperouge and Lelouch v Britannia, which is like Lelouch, and also a distinction between Zero as well. Since Lelouch's lies are something that he's like eventually making into truth, I like how Lelouch v Britannia this is spoilery as fuck, and I'm sorry, Craftsdwarf.
I literally have no
Lelouch
fucking
v
idea what
Britannia
you're talking about. Don't worry about it.
becomes like the evil, like he becomes a representation of evil and like the evil emperor that everyone hates, but Zero remains as this symbol of like of good and knighthood and justice.
I knew that. Don't worry.
And then within R3 they take it back where like Lelouch Lamperouge is the person who's going to become Zero instead of Lelouch v Britannia, for at least temporarily, because he doesn't stay Zero in R3. I really like that distinction of just kind of like these multiple sides and these multiple different ways he can, operate in the world, I guess. And it kind of makes sense, like, how Lelouch can come back, but it also doesn't, like, betray, like, Code Geass thematically, since it's like Lelouch v. Britannia is dead. Like, he literally says how in the movie he's no longer gonna lie to people. He's gonna actually tell the truth, and he's gonna actually have people be in on what he's doing, because he is a changed person, and he's acting as Lelouch Lamperouge instead of Lelouch v. Britannia. And like, it's super cool how much later that movie came out, but like it's still kind of like doing things that they kind of established in the series already. Yeah, it was super cool. And like in the beginning of the story too, he like mentions how Lelouch Lamperouge, he at first he thought it was like the fake him, and like he feels like he's living a lie. But like to have it all come back around to where like R3 Lelouch Lamperouge is kind of like the representation of the best side of him and the best part of him. I don't know. I think it's like really good. I'd really like Craftsdwarf to watch the series, because there's like very interesting things I think that I'm starting to like pick up on with Code Geass, and I'd be interested to see if you would like it as well.
Maybe someday.
It's just genuinely like actually just good. Like I like, there's not even like an ounce of ironic enjoyment. I'm just super into it now.
Cool.
Akito's still bad though. That's like the one part of Code Geass. It's just bad. He's just boring as a protagonist. The villain of the Akito movies is literally just like, I hate he's just hateful and wants to. I think he wanted to kill everyone. I don't even remember at this point. Just bad. I hope the next protagonist of the franchise is like actually good, I guess, but we'll see. Yeah, you can go ahead, Vindy. I think it's your turn.
Yeah, so I I technically had read 2 of them last time. I'm talking about books again, surprise. I read the Mistborn Trilogy. So it's Mistborn the Final Empire, and then the Well of Ascension, and then I finished the Hero of Ages yesterday. And it's really fucking good. I was surprised going into the final book, like about like 100 pages from the end. I was like, how in the world is everything that's like been set up and talked about this whole time like gonna wrap up? And it did, like, super satisfyingly. Okay. It like ended in a way where like, so like there's like Era 2, which is like on the same planet but like 300 years later, and like the way that like the series ends, that's like perfect, because like I don't need to see any more of the planet as it is like right there. Like the way it ends, like it's like so perfect and like great, and like it's sad, and there's like shit that had me like real emotional, but like it still goes really hard and is like so fucking like it nails the landing so hard for like every character. I love that man's characters, like they're just so good, all of them. I don't know, I really liked Mistborn. I thought it was like super fucking good, and so I would definitely recommend it. I would honestly probably recommend it to people over Stormlight, just because like, first of all, it's done. Even though I like Stormlight more, I mean, Mistborn is done. It's 3 books that are each like half the length of a Stormlight book. So like going through all 3 books is like the amount of time that like 1.5 Stormlight books would take. So like if someone's interested in like the Cosmere, I would just say start with Mistborn, because I think it like goes crazy hard and is like really good. And yeah, I mean, I fucking love the books. Like I read yesterday, I like sat down and like it was like 8 o'clock and I'd like woken up and I was like, I could start reading now, but then I probably won't be able to do anything else, like all night. And that's literally all day. And that's literally what happened. So I started reading at like 8 o'clock yesterday and I read until 1, like just sat down and just read the book, because I just like couldn't put it down because shit was so good.
Nice.
So yeah, really fucking good. I just like don't want to spoil things, because it's hard to talk about, but it's really good. Really good fantasy. There's a lot of stuff in it that's like super interesting and cool, and I like it a lot. I don't know.
Cool. So as promised, I did the other day. I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I guess it was the best Ant-Man movie ? But even then, I don't know. It's still like bottom 10 Marvel for me. it's I guess that makes it my least favorite Marvel movie in quite a while. Like, it was fine. I did not dislike it.
Do you like it less than that new Thor movie?
I was fine with Thor: Love and Thunder. So yeah.
What did you think of Kang?
So they definitely make it clear what they're planning with the rest of the with the character as far as because obviously for Phase 6 there's the Dynasty of Kang is Avengers. That's the next Avengers movie. I think. Well, of course, also if you've seen anyone who's seen Loki knows that like the first it's a different version of Kang, but it is Kang in that as well. Like, he's the antagonist. So I like this version less than the Loki version. But it's still fine, and I'm definitely curious as to seeing where they're going to go with Kang in the future. Loki season 2 first, in that case. But he was fine though. I guess he's probably the best Ant-Man antagonist. But then, like, as far as the movie itself, it was overall a bit more serious, which actually helped. I think like some of the jokes landed pretty well because of that. Then most of the movie takes place in the quantum realm, so I think like there was some neat like visual. It felt very alien, which I appreciated. Like, there was some weird fucking alien designs they had like in the background and shit. And then like as far as like I mean, okay, honestly, think about the title of the movie. Honestly, Hope, she didn't do a lot. Like, she didn't have a lot of character stuff going on. In general, like it was really just Ant-Man, Quantumania. So oh well. But yeah, I guess at the end of the day, I didn't find it super, super interesting, and probably like it was worth going to see in the theaters though, because what they do. So MODOK, the big floating head with regular ass, like, I don't, you guys are familiar with the comic book character, right?
Funny guy.
Yeah, so they have a MCU version of him, and they decided to go with comic book accuracy. What I mean by that is that, like, if you guys have seen what is in the trailer, he's like a mechanical, and but it turns out that's a mask, and he could like lift up the mask, and underneath is an actual fucking human ass head that is stretched to fit like the MODOK proportions, and it looks really fucking bad and janky. And I don't like it at all, but it was fucking worth it to watch the movie in theaters, because there was some like the way the audience reacted. Like, there were some kids who went like ugh or ew, and it doesn't look good at all. But I don't know. I don't like.
Is it supposed to not look good? Or
I don't. I mean,
is it supposed to be goofy?
There's a kind of like. I mean, regarding the character, like, there is definitely a, like, he's kind of, like, treated as a joke even in the movie, even though he's an antagonist. So it's, like, yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. And, I mean, I think in general, like, She-Hulk is also really comic book accurate in ways that people, even me, don't like, I don't really like some of the ways the climax was handled. And I guess we'll talk about it if we ever talk about Phase 4. But, I don't know. It's just I just we see MODOK's ass in the movie. I don't know if we needed that, but we got it.
Let's go.
So yeah, it was a movie. I watched it. There were some things I liked about it. There were some things I didn't. That's about it. You want to do another rotation then?
I have nothing to go if we go again. So
let me see if there is something.
Yeah, I don't have anything. I spent all week reading.
No, I just finished like all the Code Geass things, so that's all I did so far.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do another thing anyway because fuck you.
Damn, this guy.
Desperate. Fuck.
Yes, I'm desperate because I'm talking about something that I've been wanting to talk about for almost a fucking year since I finished it. Because I'm gonna finally talk about Muv Luv, and which Muv Luv Alternative specifically. Well, I'm going to talk about all of because so there's two visual novels. There's Muv Luv, which is actually divided in itself into there's two stories. There's Muv Luv Extra, which is a sort of like harem romance comedy that different roots. There's like 5 different girls, each with their own ending, and the main character romances all of them. And then there's Muv Luv Unlimited, which in Unlimited basically, so how the novel is structured is there's 3 sort of like secondary characters who are still really important, where like halfway through the month you get their endings, or their routes split off into their endings rather. But then there's the 2 main girls who, if you go down those routes, there's actually like you cover more of the time period in between what would have been the cutoff point for the other endings and then those 2. So because they're the main girls basically. And then what happens is basically partway down the route of the main girls, before the main characters made that choice, he sort of like closes his eyes and wakes up in his room. He leaves his room, and he's now in a post-apocalyptic future in which aliens invaded in the 70s, and now they're currently fighting off these monsters with giant robots, and it's like a complete genre shift. And there's alternate versions of the characters he knows in this world, while he's just a complete fish out of water. And that's Unlimited. And then an alternative is basically a sort of like another route, sort of like how it works in Unlimited is that there's like routes for all the main girls except for the childhood friend character, and alternative is basically the route for the childhood friend character. And all 3 of them are very fucking good. And I'll start off with saying, so with Extra, the sort of slice of life one, I just want to say that if someone like listening to this like really fucking loves Muv Luv, and they think Extra is like bad or shit, I think there's a lot that they are missing out of Muv Luv, because like it's very different, because if especially you want the sci-fi and war exploration, like then a slice of life comedy is maybe not gonna be to your tastes. But even if I just played Muv Luv Extra and that was it, I think it's a solid fucking visual novel in its own right. I think the characters are all fucking good. It's very fucking funny. There's one joke early on where they introduce the teacher character, and she literally just hits the childhood friend with her car, and she like flies off into the horizon, and it just makes me laugh every time, especially going through in fast forward, and it just happens faster when going through the other routes. And there's just so many goofy things that happen. Like it's so like one running thing is they have to do like a lacrosse tournament, and then when all the main characters are sort of put on the same team to do the lacrosse, like one character has a head properly on her shoulders. Then there's fucking Mitsurugi Mea, who she's one of the main girls. Like she's like from a rich noble family. Like she knows swordplay. She's doesn't know what the fuck how to cook, because she's always had food prepared for her. She like cuts the lacrosse net in half with her like lacrosse like stick basically. And then like the other characters all do too. Like they're all just fucking stupid dummies. But then like they still get this like really good exploration on their roots that reframes their characters, and like it's just a really good cast, and like the core conflict represented for the 2 main girls is good. And again, like even if it was just this one visual novel, I think it's fucking good. Then Unlimited, where it goes in the sci-fi one, like just it like kind of goes hard like immediately, where it's just sort of so that like the main character, he's from like a normal modern day Japan, and now he's in like a post-apocalyptic world where like a lot of his luxuries just do not exist anymore. Like as a soldier, he's actually eating pretty well, but like he compared to like most of the people in the world who have to go hungry, and he's just like he's like, wow, this is so processed, and I'm always hungry, but it's like that's he's still getting it pretty good in this world comparatively, and like he's familiar with like video games and no one else is, and so he has it's sort of examining like his familiarity with peace and how he's like kind of a spoiled child taking it for granted, while all the other characters around him are just more mature and have a better outlook on the world. And it's still like it still manages to be really funny. Like there's one part where like one of the characters she like sent letters to her dad, who's like an important like government guy, and telling him about her friends, and he comes in and they have to like pretend that she's like their squad leader, because she lied about that. And they're like, well, we don't want you to get in trouble with your dad, so we're gonna you're squad leader for the day. And it just goes to shit when he just comes in and he starts like explaining all the shit talking that she's been doing about her friends, and they're getting mad at her, and it just like it just continues to ramp up, and it's funny as shit. And then the sirens start going, and all the levity just goes out the fucking window, and immediately shit's gotten real. And like the tone handling is just very fucking good. And like the writing is on fucking point. My only issue with Unlimited is that it's very much kind of like a prequel setting up for Alternative. Like the ending is good, but it very much kind of like, I was like, wow, how are they going to answer all these questions? They don't, because it's setting up for Alternative. And then Alternative goes fucking hard. Like it just, holy fucking shit. I can't spoil it, but like, God, it's so good. Like the way it handles like character death is like every named character who dies is like it fucking hits and is like well explored, and it's just, like there's the one major one that's honestly like a huge turning point for the entire Alternative, and it like kind of fucked me up a little bit and was just God. And then, the characters just continue to be, like, really fucking good. Like, I think my favorite character from Love is Mitsurugi Maya, who she's just a fucking Chad. Like, the main character describes her as, like, his guiding light, because, kind of, like, if he's, doesn't know what to do, or, is struggling with something, he just thinks about, like, what would she do, and what would she say, and that sort of, like, helps him get through a bunch of difficult shit. And like she's just like she could be a goofy dumbass, or she could be like really wise and like intelligent. God, she's so good. And God, there's so many good things about it, and it's just it's fucking Muv Luv. I went into it like knowing like people thought it was really fucking good, and then it actually like I finished and I was like, this is one of my favorite things. I like it. It's so good. It's fucking holy shit. Like actually just one of my best media experiences in God knows how long. Like very fucking good. God. I think that's about it that I have to say, just without spoiling anything, obviously. But very fucking good. So that's what it was like. I was amping my episode to talk about it, and then I did. So there you go.
Nice. Alrighty, gamers. So is that gonna be it for this episode?
Unless you want to talk about what you might talk about next week.
I have no clue.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm not sure on what I'll actually finish. Like I'm still watching Pokemon. But
I'm going through multiple things, so we'll see.
I'm probably going to talk about Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle and Holic, and maybe just Clamp in general, because I'm going to be done with Holic by next time, and Tsubasa, and they're kind of like a big crossover thing for Clamp, and I've read everything in English that came out before those two manga, so, why not? And then probably something else that I've covered from the last year that I, haven't talked about yet. So,
Yeah, I might be forced to pick something that I've consumed like a while ago or something, because I'm not going to finish Pokemon, and I'm probably not going to finish Vinland Saga, which I've been watching, so...
I've been playing a bunch of games, but there's no telling I'll finish any of them, and all the shows I'm watching their seasons are still coming out, so I can't talk about them yet.
Unfortunate, or they're long, and you haven't like Game of Thrones. You wouldn't have you're probably not going to be caught up.
Yeah. No, I'm in like the ones I'm watching that are coming out right now, which is the new South Park season, and then fucking Last of Us. All like both of which have weeks to go. So Last of Us is almost done, and then I'll talk about that. And then you should watch the show. Honestly, Craftsdwarf, even without playing the game, you should watch the show because I think the show is really good. And you would like it.
Maybe.
That's my pitch.
Because I'm interested in the games, but, so...
I mean, if he's already going to play them, he might as well wait. It'd be one thing if he wasn't going to, but...
I think it'd be an interesting perspective, and I mean, I think the show's...
No, I do think watching it is fine without having played it, but if you are going to play it already, then you, like, kind of might as well before.
But I think the show
when does Last of Us Part 1 come out? Is it already out? The game?
Yeah, it's already out.
Okay.
Like the PS5 version? Yeah.
It's PS5 version? Fuck. All right.
Yeah, Last of Us, the remake's a PS5 game.
Unfortunate, because I was interested in that one because I'm like a version of the first remake of the first game with the second one in mind, like and mechanically, and it seems really cool. But
I've seen some fucking gameplay of it. That shit looks so good. But yeah, it's a $70 PS5 game. So if you're not
that's what I want to buy a PS5 for. I kind of want to try to get a PS5 by the time.
Yeah, I'm not going to be buying a PS5 until Monster Hunter comes out, and I need something to play it on.
I've been replaying Last of Us, like alongside like the show. I think the show's better.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Like, no, like that's what I mean when I say like I think you're fine to just watch. Like I do not think your experience with the game will be tarnished. If anything, I actually think like, and I might talk about this after. I think the ending of Last of Us might hit harder in the show than it does in the game. That's like kind of on God. I I think the show's like crazy fucking good.
Okay, that
Jesus
might
Christ.
make me watch it more. Okay.
I super recommend it. Like no. Like I think that it takes a lot of how the game is structured. I'll talk about it when it's done, but it's really fucking good, and I think it, like, depending on how it ends, could genuinely be better than the game.
Okay.
Every time I look up when that Last of Us remake is coming out, it still seems just as far away as the last time I looked it up. Like all the way in September. It's like, brother.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that shit's been out.
Wait, what?
It's
I'm
September
so
2022.
confused.
It's last September.
Oh, okay. I looked at.
We're in 2023. It came out last year.
What?
Last of Us Part 1.
I feel like I have not seen enough of that for it to be
Here,
out.
I'll send you gameplay of it right now.
Yeah. It says 2022. What?
Yeah, it's out.
The whole year rolled over, and Nun was like, "Yep, 2022." Still.
Yeah, this fucking guy. Here, look. This is gameplay of Part 1. Here, okay, we shared in the episode. Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for listening. Goodbye.